Okay, grade 9. So today our lesson is just about factorization. Okay, so yeah, it is more like a reverse of simplification. So remember, on our previous classes we did simplification. So now we are going to do factorization. Okay, what do we do when we factorize? Factorization, we just simply taking out a common factor. Okay, we are taking out common factor, or we are finding the factors of a certain expression. Okay, so like we can say that, let's take an example. So if ever we have AB plus AC, let's take this one and I take it AB plus AC, and we are being asked to factorize this. We are going to take out a common factor. Okay, so what is common between these two terms, AB and AC? So you will notice that it is common for both of them, so we take it out as a common factor, right? And then from this term, if we take A out, what will we remain with? We will remain with B. Plus, from this term, when we take A out, we remain with C. Just like that. So you managed to factorize. You took out the common factor. Okay, so that's how we do X. It's simple as that. Now let's learn another method of factorizing. Okay, where we have numbers. Factorization by taking out the highest common factor. Okay, so factorization by taking out highest common factor. Okay, H for highest, C for common, and F for factor. Okay, so let's take an example A there. If we have 12x squared plus 8x exponent 5. Okay, so if we factorize this, we will have to check the highest common factor for our numbers and the highest common factor for variables. Okay, so firstly, let's start with numbers. Which number that can go to 12 and 8, the highest one, okay, without leaving any remainder? So we are looking for highest common factor for 12 and 8. Are we together, guys? You guys know how to get the highest common factor. So my highest common factor for these two, it is simply going to be what? Okay, so let me just take my time and take you back to grade 7 or grade 6. Okay, so now we can list the factors of 12 and the factors of 8, right? We can take it from there. So let's list the factors of 12 and the factors of 8. So the factors of 12 and the factors of 8. Ne? So let's start with 2. Okay, 2 goes into 12 6 times, and then 2 goes into 6. How many times does 2 goes into 6? It goes into 6 3 times. Then 2 doesn't go into 3, but then 3 goes into 3 once. Okay, then let's go for 8. Then now 2 goes into 8 4 times, and then 2 goes into 4. 2 goes into 4 how many times, guys? It goes 2 times, and then 2 goes into 2 once. Okay, so now so the factors for 8, it is 1 2 and 4, right? And then for this one, it is Okay, I'm sorry guys, actually forget about this, what I was trying to do here. Okay, let's use a different approach. Okay, the factors of 12 and 8. Okay, so the factors of 12, right, and the factors of 8. So let's start with 1. Can it go to 12? Yes, it is a factor. What about 2? Yes, it allows. What about 3? 3 can go into 12. Yes. What about 4? 4 can go into 12. What about 5? 5 cannot go. 6? Yes, it does. What about 7? 7 does not. 8 does not. 9, 10, 11, 12 does not. But then let's check the one for 8. 1 goes into 8. Yes. 2 goes into 8. Yes. 3, no. 4, it does. 5, no. And then 6, no. So it's 1, 2, 4, right? The factors of 8, and then even 8 by itself, and then even here 12 by itself. So we want the highest, okay, which is common on both of them. Okay, so 1 and 1, it cannot be the highest because of 2 and 2 are still there. 3 that it's not appearing there. 4 and 4, so 4 and 4, it is the highest one. Okay, because of 6 it's not appearing, 12 it's not appearing, 8 is not appearing. So the highest common factor for 12 and 8, it is 4. Okay, so actually there was no need for us to do all this here, but then I just wanted to remind you how do we get this. And then now when it comes to variable, guys, with variables you are definitely going to take the variable with the lowest exponent. You see, we have the two variables, x squared and x5, right? So they are both x, but then the difference here, it's the degrees there. This one, it's squared, that one, it's 5. So you're going to take the squared one as your common factor. Okay, the lowest one, and then you open the bracket. Okay, so now 4 goes into 12 how many times? It goes into 12 3 times. X squared goes into x squared how many times? It goes once. Okay, you can put 1 there, or you can just leave it like that. Plus 4 goes into 8 how many times? It goes 2 times. Okay, and then x squared goes into x exponent 5 how many times? Let's check. So x squared into x exponent 5. Okay, so this one is x exponent 5, right? We write it like that, and x squared. Okay, so this will go away with that, this will go away with that, so it goes into x cubed. 1 2 3. So x squared goes into x exponent 5 x cubed times. Okay, so that's exactly factorization. You have managed to factorize this. Okay, so let's take another one. B, we have 15 a exponent 4 b exponent 6 minus 3 ab squared, right? So now remember, you must get the highest common factor for 15 and for 3. Okay, of course it's going to be what? Of course it's going to be 3, right? Do we agree on that? Yes, it is going to be 3. Right now, for your variables a4 and a, you are going to take the one with the least exponent, which is a, right? b6 and b2, the one with the least exponent, which is b squared, or a smallest exponent, right? So now 3 goes into 15 how many times? It goes 5 times. A goes into a exponent 4 how many times? A exponent 3 times. B squared goes into b exponent 6 how many times? B exponent 4, right? Minus 3 goes into 3 once, right? A goes into a once. B squared goes into b squared once. Then your answer here is 1. Okay, so now let's take something different. See, you have x into a plus b, close bracket, minus y into a plus b. Okay, so now with this pattern, okay, so if you can check this a plus b and a plus b, it is appearing on both terms. Okay, so that is your common factor. Okay, so you're just gonna take it out, a plus b, it is your common factor. So on this term, if you take a plus b away, what do you remain with? You remain with x. And then on this term, when you take a plus b away, what do you remain with? You remain with y. Okay, then that's your answer. So these are two different types. Okay, I hope you guys understood this. Okay, so now I will definitely share the exercise on this, but then before I share the exercise, I just want to make an example which is similar to this. Okay, so let's take more of those ones. Let's say that if you were to have a okay, so let me just say a into x plus y, right, minus b into x plus y. Okay, so if you are being asked to factorize this, you can see that x plus y, it is common. It appears here, it also appears there. Okay, so you take it as common factor. And then now, if you take x plus y here as a common factor, what do you remain with on this term? If you take x plus y, you remain with a there, minus here, if you take x plus y, you remain with b there. Okay, so now that's your answer. Okay, but then now I want to introduce what we call sign change. Okay, but then before I introduce sign change, let me try the other one which is different. Okay, let's say that you have z, let me say that p into z plus q, ne, minus r into z plus q. Okay, so how are you going to solve this one? Of course, you were going to say that z plus q, it is common on this term and on that term it appears. So you take your z plus q, you close the bracket, right? And then if now you take z plus q here, what do you remain with? You remain with p. If you take z plus q on this term, what do you remain with? You remain with minus r. Then you are done. Okay, so now I'm just going to introduce what do we call sign change. Okay, sign change rule. Okay, sign change rule. Okay, so now what do we use sign change, guys? Okay, let me take another example which is similar to the ones which are above. Okay, if you have a into x plus y minus b into y or into x into let's say that minus x no, let me take it from the book. I'm really sorry about that. Let me take straight from the book so that I can apply sign change. Okay, so now let's say that you have straight from the book x into x minus 3 minus y into 3 minus x, right? So if you check what is common in this bracket, I mean in this term and that term, we don't have anything common. Do you guys notice that? So we don't have anything common from here and from that. You can pause the video and check if you have anything common. You will notice that we don't have anything common. Since we don't have anything common, what we have here is similar. Okay, x minus 3 and 3 minus x, they are similar. They are not the same. Okay, but then now with sign change rule, you can make them to be the same. Okay, how are you going to make them to be the same? Please pay attention. You are going to say x into x minus 3. That one you can leave it just like that. Okay, so now we are going to apply sign change from here to there. Okay, so sign change, it basically means that you change the sign of that particular term. Okay, so we are changing the sign of this term. Okay, so now minus, when we change its sign, it's going to be plus y, right? This 3 here, you see this 3, it was plus, and then now if we change the sign, it's going to be minus 3. This minus here, it's going to be plus x, like that. You see, we applied sign change. And then immediately after you apply sign change, what is the following? The following is that you are going to arrange the terms properly, okay, starting with a positive 1 in the bracket. So plus y. Now I'm going to start with a positive 1 in the bracket. The positive 1 is x. So x, and then the negative 1 will follow, negative 3. Okay, so now if you check our expression, you will notice that we have a common factor, which is x minus 3, because of it appears on this first term and it also appears on this second term. Then now you can simply solve it and say x minus 3, it is common, right? And then if you take x minus 3 on this term, you will remain with x, this x. And then if you take x minus 3 on this term, you are going to remain with plus y. Then you have solved it. Okay, so that's how we apply sign change, guys. Okay, so now let's take something again. Remember, we are doing the sign change. Okay, so sign change helps us to change to get the common factor, especially where we have the factors which are similar but then are not the same. Okay, so let's take this one quickly. If you have x into a minus b, close the bracket, open the bracket, close the bracket, plus y into b minus a, right? So how are we going to approach this one? You see, a minus b and b minus a are not the same, but they are similar. Okay, so you can use a sign change to make them to be the same. Okay, let's go and make them to be the same. Oh gosh, I'm sorry about that, guys. So now we are going to make them to look the same. You leave the first term, a minus b, as it is. Now we apply the sign change here on the second term. You start here, okay, with the positive sign. You make it minus y. This b here was positive, then now you make it negative. This a was negative, you make it positive. Are we together, guys? Then after you have applied sign change, now the following rule is that you are simply going to say x into a minus b, you close the bracket, then you rearrange this starting by the positive 1. Minus y, open the bracket, you start with the positive 1 in the bracket, a, followed by the negative 1, which is negative b, you close the bracket. Okay, then now if you check this problem, you will notice that now we have a minus b being common on these two terms. Okay, so a minus b, it is common. Are we together, guys? If a minus b is common, then if you take a minus b away here on this term, you remain with x. And then if you take a minus b on this term, you remain with minus y. Then you have factorized. Okay? So let me take something similar. Okay, let me choose a different color. So let's say that you have m into 3m minus 2, close the bracket, plus n into 2 minus 3m, close the bracket. Okay, so you will definitely notice that 3m minus 2 and 2 minus 3m, they are not the same, they are similar, and then we are looking for common factor. Okay, so now how are we going to look for our common factor, guys? Okay, we are looking for it actually, but then now we don't find anything common, but then we know that we can use a tool called a sign change to make them look the same, and then we can have a common factor. So now we are going to apply sign change rule here. 3m minus 2, close the bracket. Now here, you see here, we are applying the sign change, which is minus n, open bracket. This 2 was positive, it's going to be negative 2. This minus 3m was negative, now it's going to be positive 3m. You close the bracket, right? It's equals to m into 3m minus 2. This minus m minus n, you write it, and then minus 2 plus 3m. In this bracket, now you are going to start with the positive 1, which is the same as 3m minus 2. Then after that, you will notice that you have the same bracket now. You have 3m minus 2, 3m minus 2. So 3m minus 2, it is common on first term and second term. Okay, you take 3m minus 2 out as a common factor, right? So on this first term, if you take 3m minus 2 as a common factor, you will remain with m. That m, you write it here. On this term, if you take 3m minus 2 out as a common factor, you will remain with minus n. Okay, guys, so I think, yeah, now you should be getting this thing of sign change. Okay, so quickly, let's go to something that looks like it needs sign change, but the truth is that it does not need a sign change. Okay, so let's take, sorry about that, let's take m into 3m plus 2 minus n into 2 plus 3m. Okay, so now do we really need to apply the sign change here? No. Why? Because of these terms are the same. Okay, I mean we have a common factor, not that these terms are the same. 3m plus 2, it appears here, and then it also appears here. Why am I saying that they are the same? Let's check them. Is 3m positive? Yes, it is. What about this side? Yes, it is positive. Is 2 positive? Yes, it is. Is it positive on the other side? Yes, it is. So now it means that this and that are the same thing. Okay, they are just arranged differently. So you can decide to rearrange them. 3m plus 2 minus n. So now I'm just rearranging this 3m plus 2. Now you will notice that we have the same, we have the common factor without even applying the sign change. Okay, so now our our common factor is 3m plus 2. Then you take 3m plus 2 out as a common factor. And then if you take 3m plus 2 on the first term, you will remain with m. And then here, you will remain with minus n. Okay? Then you have managed to factorize. Simple as that. Okay? So when you factorize, you are going to remain with brackets, guys. Okay? The brackets are not going to be removed. But then now, if you simplify, most of the time at the end, you do not have the brackets. So you must know that when you factorize, you are likely to have the brackets even on your final answer. And then when you simplify, most of the time, you don't have brackets. You remove the brackets. Okay? Simplification, remove the brackets. Factorize, you are going to remain with brackets. I appreciate this, guys. Thanks for listening to me. And till we meet again, I will definitely send homework which is related to this, okay? So in case I forget to send it, just contact us on 067 6251 510. Abietha Tutoring. We are great to simplify the complex. Bye-bye.